And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome out to the ballpark. A little late starting our broadcast, but this is our 6 o'clock game, and it's Baxter Auto against 5 Points Bank at Grand Island. This is a winner's contest, so both teams will be in it tomorrow. 5 Points Bank is the home team on the scoreboard. Batting for Baxter Auto is number 5, the shortstop, Blake Grimm. The pitcher for 5 Points is number 18, Javier Cruz. The count is actually 2-1. And here's a hard hit towards the shortstop. Shortstop makes the play and fires across. And that's out number 1 as Grimm goes down 6-3 for the first out of the ball game. Defensively for 5 Point Banks, here's how they're set up. Javier Cruz, as I mentioned before, is on the mound. Behind the plate, number 19, Riley Krolikowski. At first, number 12, Ryan Melvin. At second is number 6, Adam Cooper. And at third, number 1, Brock Douglas. At shortstop is number 2, Jay Gustafson. In left field, number 4, Blake Lighting. In center field, number 3, Kian Wentling. And in right field, number 9, Carson Cahoy. So our batter right now is the center fielder, Caden Opfer for Baxter Auto. Opfer stepping in from the left side against the right-hander Cruz. 1-0 count from the full windup. Here's the pitch on the outside corner. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. And I think I've got us caught up, so now I can slow down a little. 1-1 is your count. Great day of baseball. 2 games have already been played. This is the third game. 1-1 pitch is a curveball, and it's called on the outside corner for strike 2. So Opfer down 1-2. 5 Points Bank, the number 1 seed coming into this game. Baxter Auto, the number 3 seed. There's a pitch out off the plate. Tried to get him to fish for it, and he didn't. 2-2. In previous action today in 2 elimination games, in our first elimination game, Dinsdale Auto lost to Columbus Blue, and Opfer is called on a fastball in the inside corner. Strike 3 looking. That's out number 2.
Number 10, designated hitter.
And brings up the designated hitter, Joe Weiss. So again, as I was saying in our first game today, Dinsdale Auto of Grand Island dropped to Columbus Blue by a score of 5-10. And then in our 3 o'clock game, a contest that ended up coming right down to the wire, Norfolk lost a heartbreaker, actually to Columbus Blue. It was Fremont that beat Norfolk. Weiss in at the plate. The count is 1-1 as he swings and misses at the 1-0 offering. Cruz from the full windup, 1-1 pitch to Weiss. Fouled hard into the dugout on the first base side where Baxter Auto is sitting. And the count is 1-2. Cruz with a pretty good fastball here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's low. 2-2 to the designated hitter, Weiss. Just underway here. Clear blue skies, 6 p.m. And Weiss hits one hard to the left center gap, and the left fielder comes on and makes the catch. So Weiss hit it on the nose, but he hit it within range of the left fielder. And Baxter Auto is going to go down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Defensively for Baxter Auto, they're going to look like this evening.
No runs, no hits, and no errors.
On the mound, number 11, Zach Weiss is going to be the starter. Behind the dish, number 1, Brian Jerry. Over at first base, number 19, Kobe Hardees. At second, number 2, Bryce Grimm. And at third, number 6, Zach Devine. The shortstop is number 5, Blake Grimm. Out in the outfield, number 3, Carson Dudry is in left. Number 4, Caden Opfer is in center. And number 7, Ben Coldiron will play right field. Joe Weiss, as you just heard, will be the designated hitter and bats in the 3 slot. So Zach Weiss, the right-hander out on the mound, getting loose, throwing the pitches to Jerry. So Weiss, tall, lanky kid, throws on the right side. Good fastball, good control of his stuff. Javier Cruz, who we just saw, again, a right-hander, and throws with a lot of power. So a couple of good pitchers tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do at the plate as far as both teams. Due up for 5 Points Bank from Grand Island is going to be number 3. Kian Wentling will be the leadoff batter. So again, just getting started. Scoreless game here as we're just entering the bottom of the first. Baxter Auto, if you're just joining us, went down 1-2-3 in order. Ground ball to shortstop, a strikeout looking, and then Weiss put a charge into one, but hit it within range of the left fielder. So we're now entering the bottom of the first, and Kian Wetling is at the plate. Here's the first pitch from Weiss. Fastball right down to shoot for strike one. So 0-1 is the count. Weiss from the full windup delivers to Wetling, and it's hit high in the air in right field. Cold Iron's got a beat on it and makes the catch in right field for out number one.
Number 2, shortstop, Jay Gustafson.
So Weiss doing a good job. Only 2 pitches to the leadoff batter, so hasn't allowed 5 points to really see him that much. And with 1 down, brings up the shortstop, number 2, Jay Gustafson. Fastball on the outside corner called strike right at the knees. Good place for that pitch. If you've never seen Weiss pitch, he's a right-hander, a tall kid, and he has a pretty high release. A little higher than 3/4. Kind of bends over and slings it right in there, so he throws with good angle. And here's the second pitch is right in at the knees. It's 0-2 to Gustafson. Weiss from the full windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball that just stayed high. 1-2 to the batter, Gustafson. One-two count, 1 down here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled down into the dirt and back. It will bounce back to the backstop. Count remains 1-2. Really good crowd out here for this game, as there's people in most of the bleachers. 5 Point Bank, even though it says Dragons on the scoreboard, is actually the home team. So that'll be Dragons tonight. There's a good pitch, hit up the middle. Weiss gets the ground ball, flips an underhand over to Hardy's as he runs over. They'll throw it around the horn. Mark it 1-3 for the second out of the inning.
Number 16, designated hitter, Noah Halsey.
So it brings up the designated hitter, number 16, Noah Halsey. Halsey batting from the left side against the righty Weiss. Curveball that stays way up high. That's going to be ball 1. Weiss comes up from the full windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball right down the chute at the knees. Evens up the count at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Halsey. Fastball low and outside, and he fouls it out of play down the left field line.
Return those foul balls, collect 50 cents, courtesy of Speedy Mart and American.
So Weiss is up in the count 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to designated hitter Halsey. Fastball on the outside corner, and he gets him looking. Great pitch as it was right over the outside edge of the plate.
Oh, I honestly didn't watch it the whole way.
And just like that, Weiss matches Javier Cruz. So 2 pitchers that are cruising right now, or Weissing, depending on what team you have. But either way, they both go 1, 2, 3 through the first 3 batters of the order. Going into the the top of the second inning here from Gretna in Game 11. We remain scoreless. We'll be back with the second inning right after this. Thanks for listening to us on GretnaBaseball.com.
These days, everybody is on the go all the time. You need banking solutions that go with you, like mobile banking from American National Bank. No matter where you are, you can deposit checks, transfer money, pay bills, and even find a nearby ATM, all from your smartphone. Download our app today and bank at the speed of life with American National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Points, cash, gear, sports. With a Dick's Scorecard, you earn points on all your purchases and get 3% back in rewards and access to exclusive deals and events. It's simple. Points lead to cash to buy gear so you can play more sports. Get your Dick's Scorecard and start earning reward certificates today. Every season starts at Dick's.
And we're back for the top of the second inning. The first baseman, number 19, Kobe Hardy, steps in for Baxter Otto. sees the first fastball from Cruz high and fouls it right back to the backstop. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle, challenging Hardy's, and he swung and missed it. So 0-2. So 0-2 to the right-handed batting Hardy's. Here's the 0-2 pitch. He got him on a curveball, started him outside, so on 3 pitches, Hardy's goes down on strikes.
Number 3, left fielder Carson Dudry.
And it brings up the left fielder Carson Dudry, his first appearance against Cruz. Cruz from the full windup, inside and low, and Dudry swings through it, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Dudry. Swings through it again, 0-2. So 0-2 to count to the left fielder, Dudry. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball that hits him in the arm. The umpire is going to make him stay. He was in his stance, but the umpire says he put his arm forward. He's going to make him stay at the plate. So it's a 1-2 count, as that will be a called ball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hit hard, but foul down the right field line and way out of play.
Return those foul balls and collect 50 cents.
So the count remained 1-2 to Dudry.
Of American National Bank and Speedy Mart.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. High fastball, and he wasn't able to catch up to it. Second strikeout of the inning for Cruz. Third strikeout of the game.
Number 6, third baseman Zach Devine.
Brings up to bat number 6, the third baseman, Zach Devine. Cruz from the full windup. Here's the pitch. Devine fouls it into the Gretna dugout. A couple of the young men were scattering over there. 0-1 to count to Devine. Cruz from the full windup. Here's a ground ball hit towards the second baseman. Second baseman backhands it, sets his back foot, throws over to first. And once again, Javier is cruising. He gets 3 in a row. 2 strikeouts and a ground out to second. So nothing doing so far for Baxter. Going into the bottom of the second inning, your score remains 0-0. We'll be back with 5 Points Bank batting in the second inning here. Right after these messages, thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com.
Baseball fans, this broadcast of the Nebraska American Legion Area 6 Juniors Tournament is brought to you by our sponsors. One such sponsor is Kirsten Construction of Gretna, Nebraska, a full-service underground utility contractor, providing quality service to residential, industrial, and commercial clients in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. They provide free estimates. Give them a call. Services include underground utilities, water and sewer line repairs, and snow removal. And Kirsten Precast Concrete products include manholes, septic tanks, and special orders. Give Kirsten Construction a call at 402-332-4141, a proud sponsor of American Legion Baseball.
We're back from Gretna, game 11 of the bracket. This is a winner's game, and it's being played like a winner's game as we've got 2 high-quality pitchers this evening.
Leading off for 5 Points Bank, number 9.
5 Points Bank up to bat here in the bottom of the second. Number 4 batter, the right fielder, Carson Cohoy, steps into the plate from the right side against the righty Weiss. Here's the first pitch, and it's hit into the gap in right center field, and that's going to be extra bases. Quickly, Cold Iron retrieves, gets it. He's going to fire it in towards second, but he's going to coast into second standing up. So a leadoff double from Cohoy. First hit of the ball game.
Number 12, first baseman Ryan Melvin.
And Cohoy nailed that one to the right center gap. Just went with the pitch. Hit it the opposite way, right into the gap. Cold Iron did a good job to run it down and get it on the first couple of hops, but wasn't able to get it into second in time. So Cohoy stands on second, takes the lead. Ryan Melvin, the first baseman, is the batter from the left side. He takes the first pitch up for ball 1. So Melvin, the first baseman, wearing the number 12, batting from the left side against the righty Weiss. Weiss from the stretch for the first time, comes set and delivers. Fastball right at the knees, called strike one. Count evens up at 1 apiece. Don't expect this to be a shootout with a lot of runs scored tonight. 1-1's your count. Here's the pitch, and it's hit hard towards the first baseman, Hardy's. He backhands it, steps on the base himself for out number 1, but on the plate, Cahoy will move up to third base.
Number 6, second baseman, Adam Cooper.
So that's the first out of the inning. Brings up to bat number 6, second baseman, Adam Cooper. Cooper, right-hander, stepping in against the right-hander, Weiss. Weiss comes set, looks at the runner. Curveball that stayed just a bit high. Broke hard late, but not quite enough to get down. It's marked as ball 1. Cooper, who really hugs up against that inside line of the batter's box, hanging right over the plate, trying to take away that inside corner, intimidate the pitcher from throwing there. And Weiss misses outside. Count goes to 2-0 on Cooper. Here's the 2-0 delivery. And that ball's hit into center field. Not real hard. Op for Chargers. Can't make the play. Throw to the plate. Is not going to be in time. And that's the first run of the ball game, as Cahoy comes in to score on the RBI single by Cooper.
Number 19, catcher Riley Krolikowski.
So it was a bloop single just over the reach of the shortstop in front of the center fielder, and nobody could get to it, and it drops in for a bloop base hit, but that's an RBI single for Cooper. Brings up the catcher, number 19, Riley Krolikowski. Weiss comes set, pickoff attempt. Tag is down, but the throw is a little high. He wasn't able to get the tag down in time. Had him flat-footed for a second there. So Cooper takes his lead. Weiss comes set again. Delivers to the plate. The runner is going. It's a line drive. One hopper right to the left fielder. He'll throw it back in. That's a couple consecutive base hits here.
Number 4, left fielder, Blake Lanning.
So Blake Lanning will come to bat. Coming in as a courtesy runner, number 5, Nelson King, coming in for Krolikowski, the catcher.
Courtesy running number 5, Nelson King.
So Nelson King jumps on to first base, Cooper on second, and at the plate is the left fielder, number 4, Blake Lanning. First pitch is a ball that's in the dirt, a curveball outside in the dirt. Really nice block there by Jerry to keep it from going anywhere, keep it right in front of him, and the runners weren't able to advance. 1-0 the count to Lighting. 1-0 pitch is a good curveball, and I don't know how that wasn't called a strike. That couldn't get much better than that. So 2-0. Here's the worst part. He's struggling a little on the mound, and then you squeeze him on a pitch like that. 2-0 pitch. Fastball that's been called at the knees for the first inning and a half of this game, and all of a sudden it's gone. He calls it a ball, 3-0. Here's the 3-0 delivery from Weiss, and that's upstairs. He's going to walk him on 4 straight pitches.
Number 1, third baseman, Brock Douglas.
So base is full of 5-point Banks runners with Cooper on third, the courtesy runner King on second, Lighting on first after the walk, and brings up to bat the third baseman, number 1, Brock Douglas. Steps in from the right side. First pitch from Weiss is outside and in the dirt. Jerry slides across on his knees to block it. 1-0. Fastball stays a little high, 2-0. So 2-0's your count. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball at the knees, same place as the one that wasn't called last at bat, but this one gets the strike call. 2-1. Again, if you're just joining us, bottom of the first inning, 5 points up, 0-1, trying to expand it. There's a fastball that's fouled back over the backstop. Now the count is even at 2 apiece.
Coin 50 cents, courtesy of American National Bank and Speedy Mart.
2-2 pitch to Douglas from Weiss. Right on the inside corner, freezes him, gets him looking. And that's out number 2.
Number 3, center fielder, Kian Wentling.
And it brings up the center fielder, Kian Wentling. In the first inning, Wentling flew out to the right fielder, Cold Iron. Here's his second at bat. Pitches a curveball in the dirt. Jerry actually had to leap to his right and somehow got his body in front of it and knocked it down. Saved a run on that play. So 1-0 is the count to the batter, Wentling. Bases loaded, 2 down, bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch from Weiss, right down the chute, waist high over the point of the plate. Fastball for strike 1. So 1-1 is your count to the batter, Wentling. Weiss comes set, looks in, here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one's hit over the shortstop. That's going to be a base hit. Opfer charges in. Hardy's to cut it off in the middle of the infield, so they're only going to advance 1 base. But your score now here in the bottom of the second inning is 5 Point Banks 2, Baxter 0 on the RBI single by Wentling.
Number 2, shortstop, Jay Gustafson.
So Cooper came in to score in the play. King advances to third, lining over to second. Wentling at first, and your batter is Gustafson, the shortstop, wearing the number 2. Gustafson in the first inning grounded right back to the pitcher Weiss. Here's the first pitch from Weiss this time. Outside corner, generous outside corner, but we'll take it. That was a long ways off the plate, but we got the call. We'll take it. 0-1. Curveball, and he refuses to call that inside curveball. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. He will not call the inside corner for Weiss. As that pitch, again, I'm sitting right in back of the plate. I can see where it goes over the plate. 3-1, excuse me, to the batter Gustafson. And he calls the pitch low. So that's going to walk in a run. So King, the courtesy runner, will come in to score. Lighting moves up to third. Wentling to second and Gustafson to first on the walk. Brings up Halsey, who struck out looking in the first inning. And Halsey represents the 9th batter to the inning for 5 points as they now have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
Now batting number 16, designated hitter, Noah Halsey.
So Halsey steps in with 2 down and bases loaded here in the bottom of the third inning. Weiss from the stretch comes set and delivers. Pitch gets away on the outside edge, but Jerry does a good enough job of blocking and nobody can advance up. 1-0 is the count. One-0 pitch, missed outside and low, 2-0. Two-0 pitch, misses outside, 3-0. So Weiss in danger of walking in another run. Here's a 3-0 pitch from Weiss. Fastball right down the chute for a strike. Problem with that is that that's the only pitch that's going to be called a strike. It's going to be BP for anybody coming up to the plate. 3-1 to the batter, Halsey, and he fouls it back to the backstop. Good pitch there by Weiss. Count goes full. So we're going to see a lot of activity on the base paths here as all of the runners will be moving on the pitch. Full count, 2 outs, 3-0, 5 points bank. Bottom of the second. Here's the full count pitch, and he strikes him out. Strikes out swinging. So second strikeout of the game for the designated hitter, Halsey. And Weiss is able to get out of the second inning. But 3 runs have scored for 5 points bank. Going into the top of the third, your score is Baxter Auto 0, 5 points bank 3. We'll be right back with the top of the third inning from Gretna after these words from our sponsors. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com.
At American National, now is the perfect time to buy your dream home or refinance an existing mortgage. Rates are still low, and that can save you money. Call American National for a free mortgage checkup to find if your mortgage can work harder for you. American National offers competitive rates and multiple financing options. You find the perfect home, and we'll find you the perfect loan. Go online to www.american.bank to learn more. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Points, cash, gear, sports. With a Dick's Scorecard, you earn points on all your purchases and get 3% back in rewards and access to exclusive deals and events. It's simple. Points lead to cash to buy gear so you can play more sports. Get your Dick's Scorecard and start earning reward certificates today. Every season starts at Dick's.
And welcome back to Gretna as we join the top of the third inning in progress. Ben Coldiron, the right fielder, in at the plate, down 0-1. There's a ground ball hit right back off the pitcher's knee. Coldiron's going to hustle down the line, and that's going to be the first base hit of the game. There's a one-hopper right back at Cruz that he couldn't get out of the way of. Hit him right in the legs. He signals to his bench that he's okay.
Number 1, catcher Brian Jury.
But Coldiron sends it right back where it came from, and Baxter's got their first runner of the game here in the top of the third. Up to bat for the first time is number 1, Jury, the catcher. Brian Jury batting from the right side, shows bunt and pulls it back because the pitch is low. 1-0. So it's time to see if Baxter Auto could put some pressure on Cruz, who so far has had smooth sailing. Coldiron gets his lead off first. Cruz from the stretch, and Jury drills one, but it bounces foul down the third base line. That's the one thing. Sometimes if you get a pitcher to mix it up just a little bit, like in Cruz's case, he's thrown every pitch of the game until now from the full windup. Jury shows bunt and lays down a great bunt, pushes it towards first. Coldiron is going to advance to second, so Jury on the sacrifice moves the runner up and does his job as Coldiron advances to second. So a nice sacrifice bunt there by Jury.
Number 2, second baseman Bryce Grimm.
And it brings up the second baseman, number 4, Bryce Grimm, for his first at bat against Cruz. Cruz from the stretch looks at Coldiron back at second, comes set. Here's the delivery, and it's way upstairs and inside. 1-0, your count to Bryce Grimm, who's batting for the first time. Part of the Grimm tandem up the middle. Shortstop and second baseman, twin brothers here for Baxter Auto. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it almost clips him. Almost clipped him, but he didn't budge. So 2-0 now the count on the second baseman, Grimm. Coldiron leads off second. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and Grimm hacks at it, fouls it off to the right side into the fence. 2-1. So 2-1 count to the batter, Grimm. Cruz comes set from the stretch. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's a fastball that misses low. Looks like the zone has changed for both pitchers. 3-1 to the batter, Bryce Grimm. Cruz comes set, looks back at Cold Iron at second, looks back to the plate and delivers. And that's a called strike right down the chute. 3-2 to the batter, Bryce Grimm. Throw 3-2's your count. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Bryce Grimm goes down on strikes. Fourth strikeout of the game so far for Cruz.
Blake Grimm.
Brings up to bat the shortstop, Blake Grimm, number 5. Grimm 0 for 1 on the day. His first at bat, he grounded to the shortstop. 2 down here in the top of the third. Baxter trailing 5 points Bank of Grand Island 0-3. Here's the first pitch to Grimm, and it's on the outside corner for strike 1. Blake Grimm steps in from the right side. Cold Iron gets his lead off second. Cruz comes set, looks back and forth, delivers to the plate, and it's fouled out of play over the backstop on the right side.
Please return those foul balls. You'll collect 50 cents, courtesy of American National Bank and Speedy Mart.
So after the leadoff base hit, Blake Grimm is down 0-2. 2 down and a runner on second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball that stays upstairs. Count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch upcoming. He delivers, misses outside. 2-2. So 2-2 to Blake Grimm, trying to extend the inning for Baxter Auto. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Cruz. Swinging a foul ball as it popped up and hit him in the box. So beautiful evening here in Gretna. Light breeze blowing out to center field, to straightaway center. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Blake Grimm. Curveball, Grimm hits it up the middle. The shortstop fields it, throws across, and he drops it. The ball is dropped. Cold Iron is going to come all the way around from second and is going to score. And I think that's got to be called E3 because the throw was on the money, it looked like. And the first baseman just didn't handle the throw. So we'll mark it down E3. You can mark it E76 as far as I'm concerned. It's just good to have the first run score as Cold Iron comes across the plate, and Grimm will end up standing on first base. So with 2 down, runner on first, your score now Baxter 1, 5 points 3. And up to bat is Caden Opfer. Opfer, the center fielder, in the first inning went down looking, and he's up 1-0 right now. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Opfer. Opfer hits one hard, but right at the second baseman, he scoops it up, throws over to first, and the first baseman catches it. So only 5 runners come to the plate, but in those 5 runners this inning, Baxter Auto is able to get on the board as the error by the first baseman on Blake Grimm's dribbler to the shortstop lets Ben Cold Iron score from second base. Going into the bottom of the third, your score is Baxter Auto 1, 5 points Bank of Grand Island 3. We'll be back right after these messages. Thanks for listening to GretnaBaseball.com.
These days, everybody is on the go all the time. You need banking solutions that go with you, like mobile banking from American National Bank. No matter where you are, you can deposit checks, transfer money, pay bills, and even find a nearby ATM, all from your smartphone. Download our app today and bank at the speed of life with American National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we're back here in Gretna with the bottom of the third inning getting ready to start. winners bracket contest, so regardless of the outcome, both of these teams are playing tomorrow. Speaking of which, the games have pretty much been set based on the loser bracket outcomes. So at 5 o'clock tomorrow, it's going to be Columbus Blue against 5 Points Bank. That'll be at 5 o'clock. And then at 8 p.m., First State Bank out of Fremont will take on Baxter Auto. So we'll be here for those games tomorrow evening. We sure hope you join us. If you can't join us at the park, definitely join us online. Batter right now hits the ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop fires over to first, and that's out number 1. So that was Carson Cahoy, who last doubled. He was 1 for 1 going into that at-bat. But here in the third inning, there's a ground ball to the shortstop, Grimm, who fires over to Hardy's for out number 1. Brings up to bat number 12, the first baseman, Ryan Melvin. Melvin last time grounded out to the first baseman, Hardy's. And here's the first pitch of the at-bat from Weiss. It's fastball that misses upstairs, 1-0. 1-0 count here in the bottom of the third inning. Another fastball that missed upstairs, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 delivery from Weiss. Popped up in the air, and Jerry's not going to be able to get back to it in time. Didn't get real high, just barely got above the backstop, maybe 10 feet above the backstop. It didn't give Jerry enough time to run under it. So the foul ball is going to count as a strike, 2-1 to the batter, Melvin. Here's the 2-1 delivery from Weiss. Fastball right on the outside corner, strike 2, and that was a good pitch from Weiss. Again, throws kind of over the, not entirely over the top, but a little higher than 3/4. He really slings it over his shoulder, and it has good angle. That one's popped out of play, and the count will remain 2-2.
Return those foul balls, collect 50 cents.
So 2-2 count. Here's Weiss delivering to the lefty, Melvin, and it's a fastball in the dirt and outside, and the count goes full. So the left-handed hitter, Melvin, runs the count full. Weiss from the full windup. Here's the full count delivery. Hard ground ball hit to second. Grimm knocks it down and throws it over to Hardy's for out number 2. So that ball was peppered, a ground ball that was hit pretty hard.
Number 6.
Bryce did a great job of staying down on the ball, and it hit his glove, and he knocked it straight down in front of him. He just picked it up with the bare hand, set his feet, and made a good throw over to Hardy's. Brings up to bat number 6, second baseman Adam Cooper. Cooper is 1 for 1 with a single and an RBI. Cooper sees a curveball that floats right in there for strike 1. So Cooper into the plate for the second time against Weiss. Weiss from the full windup. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss, 0-2. As Weiss seeming to get his rhythm back now. So 0-2, 2 down here in the bottom of the third. 5 points leading, 3-1. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Weiss, and it's popped up in the air into foul territory. Jerry's going to get underneath it and make the catch. And that's out number 3 to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for Weiss in the third inning. And we've got a good one going here from Gretna. A couple of good ball games today. In this one, going into the 4th inning of play, your score, Baxter Auto 1, 5 Points Bank of Grand Island 3. We'll be back for the top of the 4th inning in just a few moments. Thank you for listening on GretnaBaseball.com. And welcome back to Gretna, Nebraska, and to the Area 6 Nebraska American Legion Class A Juniors Tournament. Baxter Auto coming up to bat here in the top of the fourth inning, and it's Joe Weiss, the designated hitter, who takes the first pitch from Cruz and fouls it straight back into the backstop. So the count goes to 0-1 on Weiss. Weiss, who flew out to left field on a hard drive in the first inning, takes this fastball up and in for ball one. So your count is 1-1 on the designated hitter, Weiss. Cruz on the mound from the full windup, delivers and misses low and outside. 2-1 is the count now to the designated hitter, Joe Weiss. Just starting the fourth inning of play here. Baxter trailing 3-1. And there's a called strike at the knees on the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-2 on Weiss. So 2-2 count to Joe Weiss. Cruz from the full windup delivers, and Weiss reaches at the outside pitch and misses. Strike three. So Weiss goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
Number 19, first baseman Kobe Hardy.
Brings up to bat the first baseman, Kobe Hardy. Hardy, who struck out at the top of the second his last at bat, looking to get things started. Here's Cruz's pitch. Hardy's hacks at it and chops it foul to the left side. So making contact, but not really barreling up the ball. Cruz from the full windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hardy's fouls one down the third base line. So outside pitch, and he tried to rip it across his body. So quickly, Hardy's again in the hole, 0-2. Hardy's watches one bounce up. It's going to be a ball, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Hardy's. And that one must have clipped the knob of the bat the way everybody reacted. It hit something. No, Hardy's didn't move. I'm guessing it was a foul ball. 1-2, I think, is the count. Hardy's hacks at one and fouls it out of the play on the right side.
Please return those foul balls 50 cents, courtesy of American National Bank and Speedy Mart.
So 1-2, we believe the count is. Cruz delivers to Hardy's, and Hardy's fouls one down off his feet. So Hardy's, at least this time, seen more than 3 pitches. Has fought off a couple of them, trying to get something he can hit as he steps in against Cruz. Cruz from the full windup. Here's the delivery. And Hardy's pops one in the air into foul territory. The first baseman's taking a run in, and he makes the catch in foul territory. So Hardy's flies out to the first baseman for out number 2.
Number 3, left fielder Carson Dudry.
Carson Dudry, the left fielder, steps in, takes the first pitch outside and low for ball 1. 2 down here in the top of the fourth inning of play. Baxter Auto trailing 3-1. Dudry hits the ball hard to the shortstop, who backhands it. Instead of setting his speed, he made a running play, and that's going to cost him as that ball's going to get by him. Dudry's going to hustle down, and he's going to end up on second on the play. So E6 on the shortstop. And again, it was one of those plays, he made a backhanded play, but instead of setting his feet, he decided to run through the play. So instead of setting it and making a strong throw, he was running while he tried to throw it. And it was short, and the first baseman couldn't field it. So Zach Devine comes up to third baseman, with Dudry standing out on second. Baxter Auto trying to just slowly chip away at this 5-point lead. So 2 down, runner on second for Devine, who takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 pitch forthcoming, and it's called a strike, even though it looked quite a bit inside. 1-1 is your count now to Devine. Devine, he's 0 for 1, grounded out to the second baseman, his first at bat. Cruz comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Devine. Fastball right there on the outside third of the plate. And that's strike 2. 1-2 now to Devine. Cruz comes set. Here's the pitch. Dudry's moving. Ground ball hit to the shortstop. He again, one of those plays where he could have set his feet, but he decided to keep running through the play and threw it on the run. This time he gets Devine over at first. So 6-3 for the third out of the inning. So on the air, Baxter Auto is able to get a runner on base, but nobody's going to be able to come across and score. Going into the bottom of the fourth inning, your score remains Baxter Auto 1, 5 Points Bank of Grand Island 3. We'll be back at the bottom of the fourth in just a little bit. Thanks for listening to us on GretnaBaseball.com. And welcome back, baseball fans. We're back here at the Area 6 2017 Nebraska American Legion Class A Juniors Tournament. And due up for 5 Points Bank, starting it off is going to be Riley Krolikowski, the catcher. Batting from the right side. He is 1 for 1 on the evening with a base hit. He sees the first pitch, a nice curveball from Weiss right over the outside corner for strike 1. So 0-1's the count to Krolikowski. Timeout called by the batter. Everybody will reset and we'll go again on 0-1. Weiss from the full windup into his motion. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Another curveball on the outside corner for strike 2. So 2 curveballs in a row, almost the exact same location, both of them called strikes. Weiss is up on Krolikowski, 0-2. Comes set from the windup. Here's the pitch. Inside pitch fouled off over the backstop, down the right side over the bleachers.
Return those foul balls to concession stand. Collect 50 cents, courtesy of American National Bank and Speedy Mart.
Count remains 0-2. Weiss from the full windup. Here's the pitch. Fouled up over the top of the press box and out of play.
That one's a longer chase, still only 50 cents.
And now count will remain 0-2. Weiss comes set. Here's the 0-2 to Krolikowski. Curveball got him out on the front foot and got him to pop it up high in the air. Dudry camps underneath it and makes the catch out and left for out number 1.
Number 4, left fielder Blake Lighting.
So Krolikowski was able to barrel it up, but he was way out on his front foot. Had to slow down his swing in order to make contact. Just ended up with a long fly ball. Up is Lighting, the left fielder against Weiss. He takes the first pitch high. Fastball for a ball, 1-0 to number 4, the left fielder, Blake Lighting. Lighting walked his first at bat. So 0 for 0 officially. 1-0 pitch to Lighting is up high, and that's ball 2. So 2-0 quickly to Lighting. Weiss from the full windup. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and there's another one that misses high. So that's 3 in a row that have missed upstairs. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That one's right there for a strike. 3-1. Three-one pitch to Lighting. Fastball tailing away on the outside corner. He got him to swing and miss. So the full count as Weiss is trying to climb the ladder out there against Lighting. Lighting steps in. Here's the pitch. Hit hard into left field. Dudry's going back. He's not going to catch it. Off the fence. Fields it on the warning track. Hard throw into second base. But Lighting's going to be in there with a stand-up double. So Lighting goes into second here in the fourth inning with a double. And it brings up Brock Douglas, number one, the first baseman. Douglas went down looking on a strikeout in the second inning. He stands in from the right side. Lighting now from the stretch. Comes set, looks at the runner at second. Here's the pitch. It's a bunt laid down the third baseline. Devine charges. Can't make the play, so he's just going to eat it. Devine got a very late start on that as he was back on the dirt and didn't get a very good jump on the bunt. So that's going to be a bunt for a base hit for Douglas. On the play, Lighting moves up to third. Now there's runners on the corner for Kean Wentling, who's 1 for 2 today. In the second inning, he was responsible for one of the runs that scored for 5 Points Bank because he had an RBI single. Comes up now with runners on the corners and one away. Pitch from Lighting is a curveball that's a called strike. Oh, and 1 to Wentling. Pickoff attempt over to first, and the throw is on the wrong side of the bag. Another pickoff attempt. And Douglas again dives in safely. 0-1. Pickoff attempt again. And again, Douglas dives back in. So 0-1 on Wentling. Paying a lot of attention to Mr. Douglas on first. Weiss comes set. Here's the delivery. Suicide squeeze attempt. The runner's going to score. They're going to get the out at third. Hardy tries throwing behind the guy at second, and he's safe on second base. But on the suicide squeeze, Lighting comes in, and Wentling gets a sacrifice bunt RBI on the suicide squeeze play for the second out of the inning.
Shortstop, Jay Gustafson.
So your score is now Baxter Auto 1, 5 Points Bank of Grand Island 4. 2 down. And the shortstop, Gustafson, steps into the plate. 0 for 1 today with a ground out back to the pitcher and a walk. Douglas is over on second base. Weiss takes a look at him. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Misses inside and down, 2-0. So 2-0 is the count on the shortstop, Jay Gustafson. Weiss comes set from the stretch, delivers to the plate, and is fouled back and out of play over the backstop.
Please return those foul balls. Collect 50 cents. Courtesy of Speedy Mart and American National Bank.
So 2-1's your count. Weiss from the stretch looks at the runner at second, comes set and delivers. It's a hard line drive, and that's going to get by Hardy's on the right side. It was hit to Hardy's right, so he didn't really have a play. Cold Iron with a strong throw in, and they're not going to have a chance to get the runner as Douglas is going to score. So that was a hard hit by Gustafson, and the gap between the first baseman and the second baseman is about 10 feet to the right of Hardy's, and he took a step and wasn't able to lunge at it. So that's a base hit and an RBI for Jay Gustafson. So Gustafson standing at first here with 2 down. Your score now, Baxter Auto 1, 5 Points Bank 5. Weiss delivers the first pitch right down the middle of the plate for strike 1. So 0-1 to the designated hitter, Halsey, who bats from the left side of the plate. Halsey's had a rough night as he struck out to end innings in the first and the second. And he's down 0-2 on a fastball on the outside corner. So 0-2 to the designated hitter, Halsey. 0-2 pitch is called strike 3 on the outside edge of the plate. And Halsey strongly disagreed with the call and made it known while he's standing at the plate. And the umpire took a couple steps after him. And thankfully, the third base coach came down to calm Mr. Halsey down, and that might have been a quick end to his game.
2 runs on 3 hits and no errors.
So for the third time in 4 innings, Halsey goes down on strikes to end the half of the inning for 4 or 5 points bank. Going into the top of the 5th inning, your score now from Gretna is Baxter Otto 1, 5 points bank 5, as Baxter has some work to do to get back into this one. We'll be back after this brief break. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com. And welcome back to the ball field in Gretna, or the Dragon's Lair as it's called. Area 6, 2017 Juniors Class A Tournament for Nebraska American Legion of Baseball. And Ben Coldiron, the right fielder, steps in and will lead it off in the top of the 5th for Baxter Otto. First pitch offering to Coldiron is fouled out of play on the left side, so it's 0-1. He steps in for the 0-1 pitch. Curveball, he takes a good hack and fouls it down into the dirt. Count goes to 0-2 on Coldiron. Coldiron on the night is 1 for 1 with the lone base hit of the night against Cruz. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball that misses way outside. The catcher was set up on the inside line of the right-hander's batter's box, and that's right where the pitch was. 1-2 to Coldiron here in the top of the 5th. And he hits a grounder to the second baseman, who fields it cleanly, fires over to first, and that's out number 1. So 4-3 in your book for the first out of the inning.
Number 1, catcher Bryant Geary.
So Bryant Geary, the catcher, will step in. He is 0 for 0 on the night. It's the first time he was up, he was asked to lay down a sacrifice bunt, and he executed very well. So first pitch from Cruz almost looks like it hit him, but nobody's reacting, so it's just going to be a ball inside. Second pitch is a fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. As Cruz is not wasting any time out there on the mound, starting to shake his arm a little bit, maybe getting a little tightness. 1-1 to Jerry, and the fastball is up and out, and he chases it for strike 2. So 1-2. Here's the pitch to Jerry. Curveball over the inside corner, and he missed it. Strike 3.
Number 2, second baseman Bryce Grimm.
Brings up to bat the second baseman, Bryce Grimm. Bryce 0 for 1 today with a swinging strikeout. First pitch to him is outside and in the dirt as Grimm showed bunt and pulled it back. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a ball that's fouled away. Grimm didn't even look to see where the ball went. He was on his way down the line. So 1-1 is the count. Pitch comes in and is at the knee. Is called strike 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Grimm turns on it, punches a weak grounder to third. He's going to hustle down the line, and he's called out at first. 5-3 for the third out of the inning. Going into the bottom of the fifth, your score remains Baxter Auto 1, 5 Points Bank 5. We'll be back with the bottom of the fifth in just a few moments. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com.
For Gretna Baxter.
Carson Cahoy up at the plate. Hits one up the middle, and Blake Grimm got his glove on it but wasn't able to keep the handle. How are we marking that, sir? And it's going to be an infield base hit for the batter, Carson Cahoy.
Ryan Melvin.
So Cahoy is aboard on first after the infield hit. Brings up the first baseman, number 12, Ryan Melvin. Melvin, who's 0 for 2 after grounding out to the first baseman and then the second baseman. Steps up from the left side of the plate. Cahoy at first. Bunt is shown, and he pulls the bunt down the first base line and foul. Count goes to 0-1. So Cahoy gets his lead off of first. Pickoff attempt. And he's back in safely. Cahoy, not a very big lead, but Weiss has fooled him a couple of times. He's been flat-footed. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner called strike. 0-2 to the batter, Melvin. So 0-2 is your count. 0-2 pitch is a curveball that's hit to the shortstop. Flips it over to his brother at second. Across the second, and they turn the double play. As what a great turn there. Both the Grimm brothers, it's so much fun watching these guys up the middle, but as a ground chopper at Blake at short, he flipped it over to Bryce, and Bryce was a really quick turn. Really quick turn. And they were able to get the 6-4-3 double play. So Cahoy's erased off first base. Now there's 2 down. And it brings up the second baseman, Adam Cooper, who sees the first pitch from Weiss as a curveball that drops in for a strike. Here's the 0-1 to Cooper, another curveball. This one's in the dirt, bounces through Jerry, back to the umpire. Again, I want to apologize if you're listening online. It is not Peter Brady talking to you right now. And I am older than 13. It's 9 games in 3 days is starting to take its toll. 1-1 pitch is a curveball that's right in on the outside corner for strike 2. Or for you 13-year-olds, right in for strike 2. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. Ball hit softly up the middle. Grimm is going to field it from shortstop behind the base. Throws to Hardy's, and Hardy fields the short hop. It gets him out of the inning. So good play all the way around there by the infield. As defensively, Baxter Auto looking really good. Now they need to get the bats to come to life. After 5 innings of play, yes, 5 innings in just an hour and 5 minutes, we're going into the top of the 6th. Your score, Baxter out of 1, 5 Points Bank 5. We'll be back with the top of the 6th in just a moment. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com.
And no errors.
And we're back here in the top of the 6th inning from Gretna. Baxter Auto trailing 1-5. The leadoff hitter Blake Grimm will lead off the top of the 6th inning for Baxter Auto. And he takes the first pitch way inside for ball 1. There's a ball that's hit high in the air and out of play on the right side as it lands back behind the first baseline dugout. So 1-1 is your count.
50 cents.
To the shortstop, Blake Grimm. Blake.
Courtesy of American National Bank and Speedy Mart.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grimm hits one towards the hole. The shortstop flags at it, but he can't make the play. That's a base hit as Grimm punches it through and gets it to the outfield. So base hit for Blake Grimm to start off the top of the 6th inning.
You are due, buddy.
Caden Opp for the center fielder steps in 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout and a ground out to the second baseman. And there's going to be a timeout on the field as the catcher is going to go talk to his pitcher. 6th inning of the ball game. Time to see if Baxter Auto can figure out Javier Cruz, who's done a great job baffling Baxter's hitters so far today. 1-0 the count. Opp for batting from the left side. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that one's high. And again, my voice is squeaking, and I apologize. 2-0 the count now to Opfer. Man, that is horrible. 2-0 is the count to Opfer. Cruz delivers. This one misses inside. 3-0 to Opfer. So big stop sign held up there at third by the coach, letting him know no time to swing here. 3-0, and Opfer's going to watch this one. Here's the pitch, and it misses inside. Opfer takes a base on balls. And Baxter has something cooking here in the top of the 6th inning. And that's going to draw a visit from the coach. So starting to find some chinks, hopefully some chinks in Cruz's armor. Did I hear that right? That's the first walk that he issued all game. So Cruz has he's been flying on the mound. Pitch count is low, been baffling the hitters, and that's the first walk he's issued. So don't know if it's a sign of fatigue or control problems, but what we do know is that there are runners on first and second and no outs here in the top of the 6th inning with the designated hitter Joe Weiss coming up to bat.
Now batting number 10, designated hitter Joe Weiss.
Again, Cruz on the mound trying to stretching out that arm and circling the arm. Weiss jumps in. Here's the designated hitter, Weiss. First pitch he sees is on the outside corner, called strike. 0-1 to Weiss. Weiss is 0 for 2 today with a fly out to left and a strikeout swinging. Here's the 0-1 delivery to Weiss. Chopper towards the shortstop. And the ball's dropped. So the shortstop fielded the ball, made a great play, a good feed over the second. But with Opfer coming in hard to second, I think it distracted the second baseman a little bit. Either way, I'm thinking that's probably going to go down as an E4, but I've got to check with my scorekeeper. So Weiss reaches on a fielder's choice, but it's going to be called E4 where Opfer gets on safely. It brings up the cleanup hitter, number 19, Kobe Hardy's first baseman. And Hardy's drives one to right center field. It's going to get down. It's going to score at least one, maybe two. So Hardy's with a 2 RBI single comes through. And I might be a little biased, but that's my favorite hit of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who may not know, Kobe is my son, and I'm awful proud of that at bat as he helps cut into that lead. Your score now, Baxter 3, 5 Points Bank 5, and they are starting to get to Mr. Cruz. Helps that Opfer has tremendous speed on second, and he was able to come all the way around and score. Weiss, the designated hitter, now stands at third. Hardy's, who just hit that single, stands at first, and now Carson Dudry, the left fielder, is up. And Dudry takes the first pitch for a strike. Now, most likely there's going to be a timeout here, as I'm guessing there's going to be a substitution. I love my son dearly, but he's not the fleetest of foot. So Luke Trammell, number 13, is going to check in for him and do the running.
Number 13, Luke Trammell.
And I will be the first one to tell you, even as a parent, that puts us in a better situation as far as Baxter Auto. So Trammell checks in. As a pinch runner, will do the running. And Dudry steps in, 0-1, and a little more speed out on first base. Dudry can have good power as well. Looks for his pitch. Curveball, and he drives it back up the middle. It gets through, and that's going to score a run. So an RBI single for Dudry. So Dudry with an RBI single as Weiss comes in to score from third. Trammell, the pinch runner, standing out at second. Dudry at first. Zach Devine comes up to the plate, and there's still no outs here in the top of the fifth inning. Baxter Auto trailing 4-5, trying to get back into this game. Zach Devine, the third baseman, 0 for 2 with a ground out to second and a ground out to short. Sees the first pitch, and he shows bunt, but picks it up, and the catcher lost it. It was in the dirt. The catcher blocked it, but he lost track of it, and everybody's going to move up a base. So 1-0 is the count as he pulled it back. And now 2 runners in scoring position for Zach Devine.
I've done it plenty myself.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside corner. Devine swings for strike one. So 1-1 the count. Again, no outs, runners on second and third here in the big top of the sixth inning. 1-1 pitch from Cruz. Outside corner called strike, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball that stays high, 2-2 on Devine. So Baxter Auto has already cut into this lead significantly, trying to do more. 2-2 pitch coming from Cruz, and it's way outside and almost got by the catcher, and that would have tied it up, ladies and gentlemen. Full count to the batter, Devine. And Cruz is laboring on the mound now. Devine steps out of the box, looks down at third, takes a couple of practice swings, steps back in. 3-2. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled out of play on the right side by Devine. We're going to see another full count pitch.
Return those balls. Collect 50 cents or
And this has just been typical of this baseball tournament so far today. We've had a couple of great games. Area 6 is well represented, folks. I can tell you that. Here's the 3-2 count from Cruz, and it's popped up in the air. This isn't going to get out of the infield, so nobody's going to be able to advance. The second baseman makes the catch for out number 1. So Zach did a good job of fighting off a whole bunch of pitches and extending the at-bat, but he wasn't able to come through with the base hit, and that's going to close the book on Mr. Cruz as the coach is coming out for the second visit of the inning. So Javier Cruz, a great job pitching, didn't run into any trouble until the 6th inning, and we'll get some counts on him here, and we'll see what it looks like is going to happen. Cruz, it looks like, is checking out of the game, and based on what I'm seeing, the designated hitter, Noah Halsey, is going to come in and pitch, so the designated hitter is going to be gone from the batting order. Halsey will stay in that batting slot, but now he is the pitcher. Halsey, who bats from the left side, also throws from the left side, so they're going to switch it up and put a lefty in. So this is a lot like big league baseball, sir. You have a left-handed batter in Cold Iron who's 1 for 2 on the day coming in. So as part of the chess match that coaches go through sometimes, the coach for 5 Points Bank makes the move to go to the lefty to try to get that all-important second out. So little strategery here, which is a great George W. Bush word by both of the coaches. And this is baseball, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I like to watch. So coaching moves being made by both teams. Some clutch hits coming up in this inning. And Baxter's still in pretty good shape here in the top of the 6th. So Cruz threw 94 pitches. In those 94 pitches, he only gave up 1 walk. And as far as strikeouts total, I see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts on the evening. So 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and at least a couple of errors in the field that extended innings on him that weren't his doing. So Mr. Cruz has nothing to hang his head about. As a matter of fact, let me just congratulate number 18, Javier Cruz, on a really, really well-pitched ball game. If you do listen to this later, young man, that was an excellent job. You had him baffled for 5 innings. So we're going to continue with the top of the 6th inning. Cold Iron, as I mentioned before, the right fielder, 1 for 2, will be the first batter to step in and face off against the lefty, Noah Halsey. Halsey comes set and delivers it. Cold Iron turns on one, but rips it foul. And Cold Iron was definitely ready for whatever pitch was just thrown at him. So Halsey, the lefty, set on the mound. Looks in at the lefty, Cold Iron. Lefty on lefty. 1 down, runners on 2nd and 3rd. Here's the pitch from Halsey. Curveball that curves away from him on the outside edge of the plate, and Cold Iron is down 0-2. So Cold Iron steps in, 0-2 count on him. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, 1 down. Here's the pitch, and it's a curveball, swing and a miss as he curved it away from him off the plate. So Cold Iron goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So it brings up Bryant Jerry. Jerry's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Batting against the lefty, Halsey. There's a fly ball to right field. The right fielder goes back. He's camped underneath it, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. So Gretna cuts into the lead, but they're not able to cut it all the way as they now trail 5 Points Bank by a score of 4-5. We'll be back in just a little bit. 5 Points Bank has the chance to bat now. They're going to be coming up at the bottom of the 6th. Thanks for listening to us on GretnaBaseball.com. We got a doozy going here in Gretna, Nebraska. The Area 6 tournament. This is game 11, a winner's bracket game, and both teams are playing like it. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to bring up for 5 Points Bank the catcher, Riley Krolikowski. He sees the first pitch from Weiss, who's still on the mound for Baxter. Misses high, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And it's a fastball that's in the zone. It's hit into foul territory. First baseman Hardees goes underneath it and makes the catch out there at first. So that was one of those fly balls, I'll be honest, I worry about a little bit because it was hit so high in the air. But Hardees got himself underneath it and made the catch for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down brings up Lighting. The left fielder, Lighting, is 1 for 1 today as he had a double and walked. But he takes the first pitch from Weiss as a strike. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Fastball that's hit out of play on the right side over the backstop and into the throwing complex, and he's in a hole 0-2. So 0-2 is your count to the batter, Lighting. Weiss from the full windup delivers. Hard hit ball to the hole, and nobody's going to get to that. It will roll through the left field where Dudry retrieves it and gets it back into the infield, and that's a base hit for Blake Lighting, who's now 2 for 2 on the night with a walk.
Number 1, third baseman, Brock Douglas.
So Brock Douglas comes up to bat, the third baseman. He is 1 for 2 with a base hit and a strikeout. Weiss from the stretch comes set and delivers the curveball right in there for strike 1. So the third baseman Devine, is up inside the grass on the infield in case of the bunt. Curveball's in the dirt, but Jerry does a great job of blocking it. So there's another curveball, and it definitely was low and in the dirt. Jerry rolled the shoulders nicely and kept it out in front of him. So nobody advances. 1-1 count with Lighting on first and 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch from Weiss is in the dirt, blocked up nicely again by Jerry. As Lighting thought about taking off, but thought better of it. Yep. 2-1 is your count to the batter, Douglas. Weiss comes set. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Misses high. The runner's going, and he shot him at second. So Jerry popped up as soon as the ball hit his glove. It was heading to second, and the throw was there in plenty of time. And let me tell you, Lighting has plenty of speed, but he was cut down by Jerry on that throw. Meanwhile, the count goes to 3-1, and on the 3-1 pitch, Douglas is going to walk. So Lighting got cut down 2-6 with 2 down. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, it brings up Kean Wentling. And Wentling on the day is 1 for 2 with a base hit, a sacrifice, and a fly out to right field. First pitch is a curveball in the dirt, and Jerry is just blocking everything right now. So 1-0 is the count. And now when one gets to the backstop, everybody in the press box is going to kill me. There's another ball in the dirt that Jerry blocks again, postponing my eventual demise. 2-0 is the count to the batter, Kean Wentling. Douglas with the lead off first. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's a fastball right on the inside corner of the Wentling for strike 1. So 2-1's your count. The umpire telling Wentling to stay in the box. And according to the rules, you're supposed to keep 1 foot in the box at all times, even when taking signals. There's a fly ball in the right field. Cold Iron is coming on. He won't get to it. It's going to drop for a base hit. The runner will round second and ends up on third. And now there's runners on the corners as Wentling comes through with a flared base hit to right field. And there's a timeout on the field as O'Flynn's going to come out. Coach O'Flynn comes out to talk to his pitcher. So on the base hit, Brock Douglas moved all the way up from first to third, as it was kind of a flare shot just inside the foul line in right field. Cold Iron gave it a good run, but wasn't able to get there. Did the smart thing, and when he knew he couldn't get there, he made sure he could field it cleanly and keep them from advancing. So with 2 down,
Number 2, shortstop Jay Gustafson.
With 2 down and runners on the corners, it brings up to bat Gustafson. Gustafson on the night is 1 for 2. Grounded back to the pitcher, has a RBI base hit and an RBI walk. The first pitch is in the dirt, and it gets by Jerry, and a run's going to score. And that one's on me. So Douglas comes up in the score, making the score 4-6. And Wentling will advance to second. Gustafson at the plate. 1-0 is the count to him. And the 1-0 is hammered into center field. Opfer's not going to make the catch, but he gets in, and Hardy's cuts it off right by the mound. So there's a base hit for Gustafson on the play. Wentling moves up to third. Gustafson at first, and Halsey is up to bat.
Pitcher Noah Halsey.
Halsey on the day, 0 for 3, is struck out 3 times. So again, here's where the chess match comes in. Are they going to try to steal Gustafson? Are they going to try to steal against Jerry's arm? Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses a little low on the outside corner for ball 1. Gustafson standing on first, Wentling on third. Wentling trying to fake steal, trying to draw the balk from the pitcher. 1-0, here's the delivery. And a big swing, it's ripped way foul on the left side. 1-1, the count's evened up.
During those foul balls, collect 50 cents or a free hot dog or hamburger, whatever your choice.
So 1-1, the count to the batter, Halsey. And this one's hit high into left field. It should be handled by Dudger. He drifts underneath it and makes the catch, and that's the end of the inning. So 1 run was given up. Halsey now 0 for 4 on the day. And it's going to bring up the top of the 7th inning. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here as we kind of discuss what's going on with the tournament.
3 hits and no errors.
So Baxter Auto will bring up their 9-1-2 batters due up in the form of Bryce Grimm, Blake Grimm, and Caden Opfer. And hopefully more than that. So down by 2 runs going into the top of the 7th. Baxter needs to score 2 to keep this thing going. 3 to put themselves ahead. So to update you on the tournament, ladies and gentlemen, here's what's been decided. Here's what we know. First State Bank of Fremont advanced by way of winning the 12 o'clock game today against Dinsdale Auto of Grand Island. First State Bank won that contest by a score of 10-5, and they advance to the games tomorrow. In the second game that was played today, Columbus Blue defeated Norfolk in what was really a close contest. I believe the final in that was 5-4. Is that correct? And here we are in the winner's bracket game. So regardless of the outcome of this game, both of these teams are advancing on as it will be their first loss. The team that does win this game will be sitting in a catbird seat as they are guaranteed at worst moving into the championship game at the end of Tuesday night if there's still 3 teams left after tomorrow. So what has been decided, because we know which 4 teams will be moving on, according to your brackets, the matchups are going to be teams that haven't played each other is what they want us to do. So because of travel distance, what's been decided is that the United Federal Credit Union Columbus Blues will play 5 Points Bank at 5 p.m. tomorrow evening. If 5 Points loses that game, they will move to the second game on Tuesday. If they win the game, Columbus will be eliminated. In the other contest, which will be a true elimination game, Baxter Auto will play First State Bank of Fremont, and that will be a true elimination game. So up to bat right now is your second baseman, Bryce Grimm. And Grimm takes the first pitch for a strike. Second pitch is a curveball from the lefty, Halsey, that stays outside. And the count's even up at 1 apiece. Halsey throwing strictly from the stretch. Throws the pitch way inside, almost clips him in the shins. And there was no moving for Bryce Grimm there. It didn't matter what that pitch was aimed at. He wasn't budging his feet. 2-1. So he's trying to get on base. And that pitch is in the dirt. And Bryce Grimm goes up 3-1. So trying like the Dicks to get the leadoff batter on base. Halsey comes set. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And it's way outside, and Grimm is on the walk. So good way to start the top of the 7th here, and that's going to draw a mound visit from the coach. So just like that, there's a timeout on the field. And let's see what happens here with Mr. Halsey. And it doesn't look like he's looking to make a change. Just looks like he's trying to calm Mr. Halsey down, telling Halsey that you want to make them earn it. No free passes. Make them get some hits. It's good advice to all you pitchers out there. Limit the amount of walks if you can. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but if you don't walk anybody over the course of a game, chances are you're going to have a pretty successful game. So Bryce Grimm is standing down on first. Nobody down here in the top of the 7th. Baxter trying to get back into this game, trailing by a score of 4-6. Bryce Grimm takes the lead, and better watch out for Halsey's move here at first. Halsey kicks up and delivers. First pitch on the inside corner to Blake Grimm, a called strike. Bryce Grimm on first, Blake Grimm at the plate. And here's the 0-1 pitch from the pitcher, Halsey. It's in the dirt and it's blocked up. Grimm got a secondary hop there, thinking the ball might have got by the catcher. And thankfully the catcher looked, but he didn't snap down to first. 1-1's your count to the batter, Blake Grimm. Halsey comes set, kicks up, here's the delivery, and it's way outside and almost got away from the catcher. 2-1 is the count to Blake Grimm. Here's the 2-1 delivery. And that ball's hit hard in the center. Is it going to get down? Yes, it gets down. It pops out of the center fielder's glove as he made a diving attempt. So that's going to be a base hit. You can't call that an error. So base hit for Blake Grimm. As the center fielder came on hard, made a diving attempt, and just couldn't keep it in his glove. So with that, we've got Grimm's on first and second, and Caden Opfer, the center fielder, up to bat. So Opfer with outstanding speed. Here's the pitch, and Opfer lays down a beautiful bunt that dives in front of the mound. Nobody's covering. And the bases are loaded now with no outs after Opfer's beautiful bunt base hit. Folks, I'm telling you right now, you couldn't go out there with a baseball, stand on the plate, and throw it underhanded and place it any better than that bunt was placed. Halsey got to it quickly, but nobody was covering first. And even if they were, I think Opfer might have beat it out. Joe Weiss, the designated hitter, up, no outs, bases loaded. And Weiss hits one out of play, foul over the backstop. 0-1 to Weiss.
Foul balls, collect 50 cents, a free hot dog or hamburger, your choice.
So 0-1 the count to the designated hitter, Joe Weiss. Wind is not a factor right now as the flag is hanging almost limp. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball, and Weiss drills at the third baseman, catches the line drive. Weiss hit that ball on the nose, but he hit it right to the third baseman, who made actually a great reaction play because that ball was smoked.
First baseman, Kobe Hardy.
So it brings up to Matt, the big first baseman, Hardy's. Hardy's, whose last at bat had a 2 RBI single, looking to help his team here. And the curveball misses up and outside. Oh, goodness. I shouldn't be broadcasting right now. 1-0 is the count to the batter, Hardy's. Ball's in the dirt and squirts away, but Hardy's throws up the stop sign, as you need to get 2 runs across here, so probably wisely didn't want to risk it, as that would have been a bang-bang play. And Hardy's is up in the count now, 2-0 on Halsey. So 2-0's your count. Hardy's at the plate. 2-0 pitch. Hardy's drives it to left field, but it went foul. Smacked a hard line drive, but he got around it a little bit, and it started on the line, just kept tailing foul. 2-1 the count on Hardy's. Oh my goodness, 1 down, bases loaded. 2-1 pitch. Apparently foul tip by Hardy's, so it's 2-2. Two and two to the batter, Hardy's. Hardy steps in. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Halsey. And Hardy hits a ground ball to the third baseman. They're going to get the out at the plate. As I don't know why there was some hesitation, but the runner didn't take off from third right away. But it's going to be a forced put out at the plate, so Bryce Graham is thrown out on the fielder's choice. So Carson Dudry up at the plate. The first pitch he sees is fouled back over the backstop.
Return that foul ball, collect 50 cents. Hot dog or hamburger, your choice.
0-1 to Dudry. Bases are loaded. Grimm on third. Opfer at second with great speed. And curveball to Dudry swings and misses. It's 0-2. So I'm telling you right now, with Opfer's speed, any kind of base hit in this ballgame probably will be tied. 0-2 is the count to Dudry. 0-2 pitch is a curveball taken on the outside corner for strike 3. So Baxter Otto is going to lose a heartbreaker by a final score of 4-6.
And that's the end of tonight's ball game. Final score: 5 points Bank 6, Baxter Otto 4. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., Grand Island 5 points will take on Columbus United.
So what a great game. Final score in this one, Baxter Otto 4, 5 points Bank 6. So here's the lineup for tomorrow afternoon if you're listening at home. In the 5 o'clock game tomorrow evening, the 5 o'clock game will match United Federal Credit Union of Columbus, the Columbus Blues, against 5 Point Bank. In that game, if 5 Point Bank comes out victorious, Columbus Federal Union will be eliminated. If Columbus wins that game, that will be the first loss for 5 Points Bank, and they will automatically move to game 15 on your brackets. So they will automatically be in a championship game. In the nightcap, the 8 p.m. game, that will be Baxter Otto of Gretna playing against First State Bank of Fremont, and that will be a true elimination game. Loser of that game goes home. So we will be here to cover all of the action tomorrow. Appreciate you listening on GretnaBaseball.com. Have a great evening. We look forward to broadcasting the games the rest of the tournament. We'd definitely like to thank all of the visitors who have come out to these games for showing up. We hope you show up for the finals. There's been some great baseball played here in Gretna over the last 3 days. So I'm very happy to be bringing it to you online. I know that some people were having some problems connecting. I apologize as I've tested the site and it looked like it was up and running. I will try to figure out if there's anything going on to make sure that it's fine for you by the time we do the next broadcast. On behalf of everybody here at Gretna Baseball, we thank you for listening. Thanks for listening to our audio broadcast on GretnaBaseball.com.